Good evening, members of Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters here on YouTube. How is everybody doing this evening? Uh, as for me, we've been having a lot of bad things happening here in Temple, Texas. 2 days ago, we got flooded by the thunderstorms that brought a lot of water, in which water entered a home, in which we had a cleanup detail for about two different times that it happened when the clouds would burst and it just brought flooding into our home. And that's what we've been doing is cleaning up the past 2 days. And that's I wouldn't even live near a creek or anything like that. It just rained so much that it flooded. Uh, Another thing, I have my mother-in-law that's in the hospital. So I want to keep her in prayer. For those who want to pray, she's in the hospital in the ICU room, and all prayers are welcome for those who want to pray. Uh, Thank you for bringing her into prayer. I'm just making a quick video to let people know that the only time I'll react to someone uh, in a way of defending myself is if they initiated something initially towards me, because that's not what I do on positive spiritual encrypted encounters. That's not what I am. If somebody comes at me in a negative way trying to play games, I'll respond to them, directly to them, because I'd rather respond to them to put a cease to stop what they're trying to initiate towards me than continue to play games with nobody. So if y'all hear me make a video of any kind of sort, how you doing, Sister Madeline Shap? If y'all see me respond to somebody or make a video about somebody, it's out of defense, out of myself, because somebody initiated something towards me. I'm not gonna go fight with somebody just for no reason or say something to somebody for no reason. If I respond to somebody or I say something in my Facebook or my YouTube towards somebody, it's because out of defense, because they initiated something negatory towards me, and then they try to pretend that they ain't not doing nothing wrong. But when somebody comes into my Facebook, my timeline, and they say something negatory as kiss their ass, then to me as a man, as being prior military, those are fighting words. When somebody that pretends that they don't instigate, but they have the audacity to go into my timeline and tell them to kiss their ass, well, those are fighting words for me. So if y'all see me responding, saying good old boys, it's because I'm directing to the person that initiated by insulting me first. So that's why I'm responding to this guy. This guy pretends he's the holy grail of cryptids, that he knows what he's doing. They said they're not getting on Facebook anymore because they don't want no problems. That's not what they're about. But that's false, because that's what he's about. If he wasn't about that, he would have never gone into my timeline. I could understand it would have been my spiritual and cryptic groups or the YouTube channel. He went into my timeline where I'm talking to everybody in general, family members, people that are on my friend list, and which he was in my friends list. And he goes in there and says that. So after he says that, I guess it's okay for him to say that and get away with it, but it's not a good in my book. That's where I sprang to the guy, and the person I'm speaking about is Barton Nunley. He said to kiss his ass. I want to see who's going to be kissing whose ass, because it sure as hell ain't going to be me. That's why I've been making the videos that I've been making, because he just didn't take a cheap shot on me that way. He insulted my works of what I do spiritually, and that's why I'm responding to this guy. When you hear the term a a wolf in sheep's clothing, that's him right there, man. He's to me of what I see, because he insulted me. He's a pretender, man. I can understand if he had evidence of something, a body of a Bigfoot or something of that nature, but they don't. In which, to me, I have evidence where I place my pictures. They want to call it bushes or whatever. It's not bushes. It's spiritual activity, which that's what the disembodied demonic Nephilim do. When the disembodied demonic Nephilim, I'm gonna tell you what the disembodied demonic Nephilim is. They're demons, brothers and sisters. There are the disembodied spirit of the Nephilim, what remains of the Nephilim. You know how people say they captured a giant and all this stuff? I don't believe that story that there was a giant captured. I was in the military 10 years. I never witnessed anything like that, and I've been in combat environments. I think that's all a BS story of the giant of Gondor or whatever. But what I have witnessed, I'm going to speak in truth. What I have witnessed, brothers and sisters, while I was in the front lines in Operation Desert Storm, we were fighting the Medina Republican Guard. I did witness what people call the Djinn, or we can call them, because they're called many names in different cultures. We can call them the disembodied demonic Nephilim, what was left of the giants, right? So what are the capabilities of the DDN? That's a question that people within the cryptid community don't want to talk about, because they want to say it's 100% flesh. Well, I'm going to tell you what the capabilities are, and their capabilities are beyond something that's in the flesh. They have the capabilities. Let me shut off this ceiling fan. Maybe y'all can hear me better. The capabilities of the disembodied demonic Nephilim, of what I've dealt with, what I've seen out there in Operation Desert Storm. Their capability is this: we cannot, even with the tank, we have saber round, heat round, 50 cal, 240 machine guns, M16s, 9 mils. No weapon that we had in our tank could harm the disembodied demonic Nephilim, even if we shot at it. Why wouldn't it be able to harm it? Because it's in disembodied form, in spirit form. But this is the capabilities that it has. When they talk about a universal soldier, and they say, oh, the dogma is a universal soldier. A Bigfoot is, no. The universal soldier that exists is this DDN, this demonic being. Imagine what the capabilities are that they have. And what I witnessed in a combat environment is this, where they're literally jumping in spirit form into people with white flags. Flags mean surrender. They're literally surrendering. You can see the fear in the people's face. And then when the disembodied demonic Nephilim jumped into the soldier, I could literally see it in the air. I had good view because I was a driver in that war. I was a driver. I was in Delta 3-1. I was with 135 Armor in Delta Company. We were fighting the front. Nothing but sand and the enemy in front of us, right? So there's burning tanks. There's people coming out of the ground, right? And, when smoke rises, well, the smoke, I had a clear shot of everything. It's kind of like being in the movies. I could see through my sights as the driver. And I seen the DDN floating in the air and jump into a Medina Republican Guard soldier. Go right into him. As he went into him, his demeanor changed. It went from fear to giving a smile. His color of his eyes changed to yellowish. He dropped the white flag, picked up the AK-47 out of the ground, and aimed it. Right? He aimed it, and that was the end of him. And this disembodied demonic Nephilim kept on jumping from person to person, doing the same thing. What is it doing when it's doing that, brothers and sisters? It's possessing the host. What opening did the soldiers have? The opening that they had was fear, and they had murdered a lot of Kuwaiti people. So that was another thing that a spiritual opening that they had, right? So that's how the DDN was not just jumping into those individuals. It tried to affect some of our soldiers also, because we're in the middle of war, and those disembodied demonic Nephilim, you want to call them demons, their job is to collect souls. So if they can possess a host to kill themselves or kill somebody, that's that's what they do. You could say that they're soul collectors. They dislike mankind. They love it when there's war, and that's when they surface up. I haven't just seen them in combat. I've witnessed them out here. What happened to me in Elms Grove? They do follow, right? That's just some of the capabilities that they have. They can manifest to look like one of us, to look like a soldier. They can manifest to look like your friend, like one of your buddies out there in combat. They have those abilities to take that for that manifestation. So when you think you're talking to a friend, they give you a smile. It reminds me of skinwalkers, right? When they said there's a skinwalker. Well, I've seen where I spoke to this gentleman, and he's talking to me, and he's like saying if I knew what a lycanthrope was and all this, and he had yellowish eyes, and uh, months passed later, and that's the son of a lady that I knew, an old lady that lived there for 31 years in Elms Grove, and they were moving the mobile home, and I went up to him, hey man, remember me when we spoke about the lycanthrope and all that? And the guy said, I don't know who you are. I've never met you before. So it took the manifestation of her son just to relay a message to me, to let me know what exists in there. It's basically talking it was a lycanthrope, right? Not to go in there because that's where it resides. But it was literally took that manifestation of the son of the lady that I knew, in which that was a skinwalker. That's a way a disembodied demonic Nephilim works. Skinwalkers, shamans, they learned the necromancy from them, from what's created by the Watchers. That's where they learn the necromancy, and they have the abilities, right? Because they made some kind of deal, and it was passed down to them. You could say the wisdom and knowledge, because that's what it is, right? Of having those abilities. So when people within the cryptid community want to take that out of the picture, they don't want to talk about it, because that's the truth, right? That's the truth of what I've witnessed. And I've trained during the day, during the night. I've spent 10 years in the military, in the woods, training to know what's out there. I've run into animals, wild boars, cougars, wildcats, rattlesnakes, all kinds of vipers, cobras, in different areas that I've been. The wild boar that I ran was in Germany. It was huge. It was as big as a cow, and he had tusks, and he tried to attack me while I was on the ground at nighttime pulling night shift. So I've run into animals, right, that have tried to attack me, and that are real flesh creatures. At the same time, I've run into the unseen. I've been there. I've been in the field 24/7, 45 days, 6 months, longer than that, in the field, training in the middle of the woods, in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the snow, where there's mud. I've been in those areas, so I know what I'm talking about. So when somebody comes to me in a negative way, trying to make it seem like they have more experience than me because they're so-called professional Bigfoot hunters, that's BS. I have the experience because I've been out there. I know what's out there. Just like I can tell you straight up right now, there's beings out there in those woods that people don't know about. And these beings have capabilities. You could say they're magical. They're supernatural. The tank has capabilities that's beyond. Listen to me. That's beyond with somebody with night vision equipment. The capabilities of the tank has, in which I was in, the M1 Abrams 1, 2, and 3. They have capabilities that we're able to change pixels and see what's out there. right? I could see a rat or a mice in the field that's 2,000, 3,000 yards in the distance. I can see their heat signature through through nuclear sites that we have. We're able to see them in a distance. Their heat signature. At the same time, we're able to see things that are out there that have no heat signature, in which there's something moving out there that has no heat signature. So what is that saying when it has no heat signature? That means that it's something that is not alive. Something that, because normally something that's in the flesh, through our chemical thermals that we have on the M1 Abrams tanks, we're able to see their heat signature, which is normally red. We're able to see because it's throwing some kind of heat, right? So that's when you know there's something that's alive, that's in the flesh, that's out there. So I know about all this. I've been out there to know when it's something that's real. I mean, when we're out there training in the training, you know, um, we got moving targets that have panels that throw heat that we know when we go to gunneries. We know that's the moving tank we're going to hit. When troops pop up, that's not we heat the heat signature. We know that that's a target that we're going to hit because we're able to see the heat signature. Imagine you're going down the range and you see something movement with no heat signature, and you're trying to figure out what it is, but changing the different thermal sites, and it's not reading no heat signature. So what is it saying? That means that there's something out there that's moving, that's not of the living, that's not of that's not alive. So we will witness this a lot as a gunner. I was a gunner also in the tank. I was a driver, loader, a gunner, a TC, and we would notice these things, right? So what we had to do is called range control, to go down range and say, hey, there's something down there moving. We don't know what it is. It's not showing no hit signature, but it's over there by where the generators are of the targets. So they'll have to send range control down range. We had to do a ceasefire to see what was moving down range. And normally there's not only one tank that's there. There's always another tank always on standby, just checking out when we're going. When we're going doing our run, they're checking out what we're doing, so that because they're next in line to go down range. So they're also seeing the same thing I'm seeing, right? So they'll confirm what we're seeing and say, hey, there's something down range. But when they go down range, they find nothing. So right there by itself, that's letting me know that there's other things that are not in the living, that are in spirit form, that are amongst us. That's why I say what I say about the disembodied demonic Nephilim, about the people try to make fun of my pictures. I know what I'm seeing because I've dealt with it before. They don't want to stick out of their narrative of it being. They just want to stick that it's in the flesh. I've dealt with it. I've been there. I've seen what their capabilities are doing because I've witnessed them while I was in the military, before the military, during the military, and after the military. Just because somebody's got a book written, or they pretend they're some kind of person that's in a high echelon, but they have 0 confirmed kills. They have no POWs, no prisoners of war, which means they have no actual Bigfoot, no actual Domin captured. To me, that's just a pretender. When I was in combat, we had all of the above. We had confirmed kills. We had POWs. There was body bag details. We had all that, where when we hit a target that was real targets, those are confirmed kills, in which there's a body bag, because normally if you hit a target, when you have your weapons lined up, to be able to break a piece of straw or a piece of grass and cut it in half, every time you shoot your rounds, it's a direct hit. It's going to be a confirmed kill, because our weapon system is bore sighted, is lined up where the main gun, and our main gun is precise. So if we shoot something that's out there, it's going to be a confirmed kill. So yes, I see people that are pretenders. I'll say it like this: pretenders, because they haven't been out there where I've been at. So when they come at me in a negative way, trying to insult me, of because they don't want to acknowledge the spiritual aspect of things in life, they want to disrespect me, say kiss my ass, or talk bad about my pictures because they want to stick to their narrative of that Bigfoot or Dogman are real, but they have no proof. To me, those are pretenders. They haven't really been out there where the action is. I've been out there where the action is, whether it's something that's in the flesh or whether it's something that's spiritual. I've been fighting all my life. Through Messenger, I get messages from people that say they love the way I'm awakening them spiritually. You know, I have a message, I haven't posted it, where this guy said that he loves the works that I'm doing, that I'm opening up to things that he didn't know about. You know, that he said he wishes that somebody would have speak spiritual truth to him a long time ago, in which that's a positive thing, you know, of what I see. When people are contacting me through Messenger saying to continue to do the works that I do, regardless of who comes up of me in a negative way. That's what I do. You know, this is what I've been doing for a very, very long time. I placed an old picture. This picture is from probably like 2001, probably older than that, probably from around 2005, of my son sitting in a truck. I had a camera with poor quality pixels, but I would always take pictures, you know, when I was saying things, and you could see him sitting on top of the truck, and you could see something there by the tree line looking at him. What people don't understand is this DD and disembodied demonic Nephilim, they have the abilities, if they have the ability to possess something that's living, what does that mean? That means is a capability to able to possess a person or something. The living could be an animal or could be an object like a tree. So that's what they do. They like to go into trees. They could be on top of the trees. They could be coming out of the ground because they're in disembodied form. There's times that I've been out there in Elms Grove where I could be walking and it feels like somebody grabs me from the ankle, and they got me from the ankle and I can't move my leg, and then they will let go of my ankle. And I look around to see what's grabbing my leg, but there's nothing there. Those are the things, the capabilities of the disembodied demonic Nephilim. I'm sorry for those that within the cryptid community and when I believe that they're flesh and blood, they have they can manifest to look flesh and blood. But that's why when you're searching out there, you say you're searching because you're gonna you. I believe it was a gentleman, I can't remember who it was. It said that they're in the hunt for dogmen and LBL, and their mission is to exterminate them, to kill them. That there's a mission. That's what they're out there doing the research and hunting them. You know, they got all these weapons that they're hunting them and all these things, but they have no bodies because they're going about it the wrong way. I'm here to tell you, how can you hunt something that's in spirit form? You cannot hunt it with any man-made weapons. If you're thinking you're hunting at something real, it already got you. It already has you. He's not going to mess with you. He's not. It don't even have to surface up anymore because it already got you what he wants you. Because he got you believing that you're hunting something that's in the flesh. It's when you do the opposite that you say, you know what? This has got to be something spiritual, something demonic. And then it's going to really show itself and come at you invisibly, unseen, because When he got you bonded, it don't want to release you from the bondage. And I see a lot of people within the cryptid community being bonded by these demonic beings because that's what they are. They're being bonded because they're believing they're Sasquatches, they're Bigfoots, they're other cryptids, but they're being deceived by them, right? So he's not messing with them because he already has them. Now they're already believing in them, so that's already a free entry for them to get attached to them and follow them to their house. I'm not denying that they might be seeing something, but that's what happens when you're being spiritually bonded. You're going to witness things out of the ordinary. Like I said, they can manifest. They're going to manifest to you just for you to believe that it's a Bigfoot or it's a Dogman or any other. The capabilities that I witnessed, what I witnessed, and when I've been out there, I was there walking, and I witnessed one, and this was something completely different, brothers and sisters, of a Bigfoot or a Dogman. What I witnessed as I was walking during the day in the open field by the tree line, I noticed one that it manifested. I'll tell you what it looked like. It was like 16 foot tall by the tree line, and he had its mouth open, and I could see all the sharp teeth from a distance. From a distance, that's how big it was, that I could see it, and he had his mouth open like it was ready to charge. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, what is this? And I said, that's not a lycanthrope, dogman, shapeshifter. What is this? What I witnessed was a being, like I said, they can manifest anything, that looked like he had a face of a crocodile on twos, bipedal, on twos. And he has a jaw open, just looking at me from a distance. The jaw wasn't as long as a crocodile, but you could see the shape from a distance because it was that big of how a crocodile looks at its prey, and it was looking at me. So I stopped from moving on forward, and I'm looking at it, and we're just, I guess you could say we're having a Mexican standoff, where we're just looking at each other. And I start praying because he's looking at me, I'm looking at it. So it's going to either, if it's something real, it's going to charge. If it's something spiritual, as I pray against it, and if it's demonic, it's going to disappear. So as big as it is, 60 foot tall, it wouldn't take that many steps for it to get to me, right? Something that's tall, 60 foot tall, maybe what? From a distance, if I was like 50 yards away, it wouldn't take that many steps that tall to get to me. So I start praying the Our Father, and I start rebuking in Jesus Christ's name. Next thing you know, boom, it vanishes. It vanishes from that location, from where it was standing looking at me. So that's when I knew what I was dealing was something that was demonic, but they have those capabilities. Excuse me real quick. Yes, I decided to do a live here on Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters. I'm trying to get to 1,000 viewers, so I continue to do my works. So I'll be honest, I got nothing against anybody. Like if I don't got nothing against anybody. I've been doing this for a while now. It's just when people come in a negative way, what am I supposed to do? With all the spiritual experience that I have, where I've been in combat and stuff like that. What am I supposed to do as an individual? Just not say nothing back to somebody because they think they're up here in a higher echelon than me, but they're really not. Me, I just got my little group on Facebook, Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters, here on YouTube, and I got TikTok, a lot of short reels under TikTok, under Ape CS, if y'all want to check those out, where you can see what I'm talking about, where they're in disembodied form. I've seen them where they use the elements, whether it's air, they can generate themselves to look like smoke, to look like a mist, to look like dark shadows, and even I've seen them manifest to look like, you could say, energy, like the energy of the sun or the energy of like orb-like. I've seen them generate themselves that way, for a split milliseconds, and then they just fade away. But they come in and out of our reality. I haven't been out there in a while because I've been recuperating from the last times I went to go investigate. You know, I got spiritually attacked out there. Where just imagine this: you have your equipment on, you're walking, and then as you're recording, because I'm going live just like I'm doing right now. You see, there's no disruption of anything. While I'm recording, going live, and talking, and I'm going to the areas where the activity is hot. When I get to those areas, the recording just starts messing up. And when that's happening, that I'm losing connection, that's when the activity picks up around me, in which I'm hearing all kinds of activity around me, movement. I hear disembodied voices, disembodied growls, footsteps around me. See, through my parallel vision, I could see something standing behind me, looking at me. Then when I get the connection back, it's like they take off. They take off, and then when they interrupt the connection again, they resurface up. But I'm seeing the activity around me. When I'm not speaking to anybody, there's all that kind of activity that's around me that I have to go into prayer. And I'm praying, I'm fighting spiritually when I go into these areas, because as they're trying to drain the energy of my live feed, they're trying to attack me spiritually. So when I debunk my videos, I go to the time frames where that happened, and that's when I capture the activity of the DDN, in which sometimes I capture images of them, of what they're trying to do to the area around me. But they have those capabilities where, just like they use the elements to manifest, they can interrupt time. They can stop time, whereas you could be in an area for a very long time, but really no time has moved on, because they have those capabilities to stop time, or they have capabilities to make time go by real fast, right? That's how they move. They can control that. Imagine that. They can control time, that they can move slow, they can make you move super slow, in which when you're moving super slow, it can affect your body. It's like going into a time warp, or it can move real fast, right? And when you come back to being normal, you start having problems, because it's like an adrenaline rush. So they have the capabilities of making you have a form of adrenaline rush, in a way where when you're moving slow, they're trying to attack you when you're moving slow, trying to drain your energy. They have those capabilities. That's what I bring to the table. And the spiritual encrypted encounters. I've captured these activities. That's why I talk about them, because I've been out there. I've been boots on the ground, and I've captured all these things. I haven't been out there in a while, like I said, because I'm recuperating. The last time that I went out there was a couple of months, 2 months ago, I guess, 3 months. I don't know how long it's been. Um, when all this was happening, and I was losing my connection, something jumped on my neck area, and I was looking. I couldn't see nothing, but I had the weight on me of it, and it was real heavy. Whatever it was that jumped on my neck area was real heavy, that my legs started buckling. My legs started buckling, where I could feel the weight, where it jumped around my neck area, and it was trying to drop me to the ground. So I started praying, and as soon as I started praying, rebuking it, it jumped off of me. But my left toe, had gotten injured. So I've been recuperating for a left toe for a while. Imagine this: something that can manifest, temporarily, whether it'll be milliseconds or seconds, 2-3 seconds, but it has a capability to hold some weight, to weigh you down, to injure you. And that's what happened to me. I injured my left toe because of that. My toe has been hurt for a while now. I'm thinking my toe got injured even before that, but it weighed me down, that it was trying to draw me. It hurt my knee, it hurt my ankle, and it hurt my toe. Imagine having so much weight on you. Whoever goes to the gym and works out, where you lift something and it feels real heavy, Well, it was real. It was so heavy that my toe nearly got busted open. Like a lot of pressure on me that it nearly busted my toe open. In which I believe I have damage on my left toe. I need to go see a. I have an appointment set up to go check out my toe. So that's one of the reasons I haven't been out there, because they're literally trying to take me out. I always go spiritually prepared. I pray before I go. I pray during and after. You know, if I have to fight spiritually, I'll fight. Uh, but that's what I'm bringing to the table, brothers and sisters. If somebody will be there with me, they will witness and the same things that I'm witnessing. And those things, like I said, they attack. They I guess they can see that I'm attending Love Foundation regardless. Even though I say something about somebody because I'm defending myself, I still maintain my Love Foundation. The only thing I don't understand is this. Excuse me. I'm still recuperating. I've been sick for a whole month. Still recuperating from these allergies. The only thing I understand is if somebody has their group and they have all these followers, right? Because they're supposedly a professional person that's well established within the crypto community. Why would you target somebody like me, right? That I'm not trying to. My works is not about being up here. My works is just doing, bringing a spiritual awareness to people, right? I'm doing God's work. I'm doing God's work because I'm out there in the front lines, bringing the truth to light about the spiritual, unseen spiritual war that we're going through. Why would you come up against me in a negative way, say bad things about me like kiss your ass, right? Or make fun of me when I'm doing spiritual works? I seen you make a video in your live talking about you're not about drama, and that in your group you pray for people and you do these things, but you take your time out of your group, right? Because you established, and you target me on my timeline, and you insult me by saying kiss your ass, and you make fun of me. So what is that telling me about you? That you're lying about what you're saying here on YouTube. You're lying, because if it was true, you wouldn't have targeted me. You wouldn't have insulted me. I'm just trying to figure out if it was you were defending Larry Fisher, because I deleted him as my friends list because he kept on saying all these negative things at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. That's a demonic hour. He will be calling me at 3 a.m. numerous times, talking bad about people at 3 a.m. I was sick. I didn't hear anything negative about anybody. He calling me 3 a.m. Talking for about an hour, telling me all these bad things, and I'm trying to recuperate from being sick. So I deleted it on my friends list because I got tired of him talking bad about people that I am affiliated with, that I do works with. I made a video while I was still sick, and I said why I deleted him and 2 other guys, because the only thing they want to do is dwell in negativity, and they were contacting me, talking badly about the people I associate with. Then you defend Larry and you insult me. I'm just trying to figure out why did you have to do that, man? Why? I mean, it's like I ain't done nothing to you. I never said nothing bad about you at all. I know the works that you do. My works are different than yours. I do spiritual works. I've seen, because of how I was brought up spiritually with a medicine woman when I was a kid. I was open up to the spiritual aspect of things at a very young age. So I'm able to see the things that other people cannot see, because I was opened up to that at a very young age. At the age of 3 years old, I was opened up to that, to seeing the unseen. So I've been doing this works for a very long time. I'm 55 right now. I was brought into this since I was 3 years old. So I've been doing this work for 52 years. Because when I got opened up to this, my life has never been the change spirit, never been the same. My life as a kid was not a being a normal kid. My life was seeing these beings that exist. They're amongst us, these demonic beings, and I could see when they were affecting people, where these demonic beings were possessing people, making them act different. And when I go up to the people, I go with my little love foundation. I'll grab their hand, and when I will grab their hand, the unclean spirit will leave the people because it didn't want to know about that heavenly love, right? Uh, when I pray for people, no difference. When I see somebody that is being spiritually bonded, that people is just a regular person, but it's being used to come up against me. I see what's within the individual. I don't focus on the person, but I focus on what's within the individual. I cast out the demonic unclean spirit in them with the love foundation. As the unclean spirit leaves the host that they had possessed, then I'm able to talk to the real person. When I talk to the real person, I'll tell them, I ask them what happened. They'll tell me the story. And I'll tell them that you need to do this. You need to ask for forgiveness. You need to repent for your sins. You need to have a relationship with the Heavenly Father. And I'll tell them what I witnessed so they can be aware that they were being used in a negative way. I'll wake them from what they were being spiritually bonded by. This is the works that I do. Maybe you might not have no understanding to that. Maybe you don't believe in Jesus Christ. I mean, you say you pray for people, right? But those are the works that I do. I've been doing these works for a very long time. It doesn't matter where I've been doing, even in the military, I do this works. Because, like I said, I was brought into this at a very young age, since I was 3 years old. So I've been doing spiritual works all my life. Yeah, how you doing, brother Josh Turner? Like right now, check it out. All the things that I've been going through. I've been sick for a month. I'm still recuperating for that. My mother-in-law, ever since all this started, my mother-in-law's been in the hospital for a whole month already. So I was already sick, with what I have, that I can't even go visit her in the hospital because what I have, even though it's negative, I really don't know what I have. So my mother-in-law's been in the hospital. I can't go with my wife to the hospital because if I have something, I don't want to get her more sick than what she already has. Like today, she's been going in and out of the emergency room. They found her unconscious, and she was in a different location where she was doing therapy. She was unconscious. They didn't know if she was going to make it or not. My wife got up early, went to the emergency room, and she'd been there all day. I took her out to eat. She went back. They still have her like in an induced coma. They didn't know it was a brain aneurysm. They didn't know it was a heart attack or a stroke. So right now she's unconscious. So I'm going through all this, right? Through all the things that I'm going through, and then I have people targeting me, talking bad about me, not taking the time to get to know me as a person because of the works that I do. But they got the time to disrespect me, not knowing what I'm going through. What I'm going through at present day, they don't know. So I've been going through a lot this past month and more, in which I don't got time to listen to people calling me, talking negatively about the Turners or anybody, right? Because I'm already going through my own stuff. And I'm still going through it. Trying to maintain a love foundation because I know I cannot err. I know I cannot get angry because that's a spiritual opening. So what do? I disassociate myself with the people that are bringing negativity into my life. because I'm already going through a lot. And in order for me to be able to overcome the sicknesses that I have, keeping my mother-in-law in prayer, I have to maintain a love foundation. There's no and if or buts about it. I'm making this video just try to understand somebody that I know who they are, but they never have taken the time or day to find out who I am, because maybe they dislike the works that I do. I just want to know why you targeted me. I know within the spiritual, the supernatural, and cryptid community, I know for a fact, because of the spiritual battles, the works that I do, that there is people that do witchcraft, that are in cults, and that do voodoo. I know this, that they're infiltrating. So is that the reason why you decide to take a cheap shot at me? Because of the spiritual works that I do? I want to know. I want to know straight up. That's the type of person I am. Because you can pray for people, you can talk about you do this godly works, but you took the time out of doing your godly works to go and insult me, to disrespect me. When I'm already going through things. You seen that video? I was sick as hell. I'm still sick right now with the allergies, real bad. I'm getting better, but I still have problems breathing. But you took a cheap shot at me while I was really sick, and I'm just trying to get people to understand, because I don't want to be caught up in nothing of what's going on, because that's how people play games, where they try to get you, tell you things so they can say, oh, he sided with us, and then next thing you know, they'll flip it on you, trying to make you look like the bad guy. I said, I don't have nothing against anybody, but what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do if you come at me in a negative way? Am I just not supposed to say anything? But I did. I did respond to you, and I've responded to you numerous times already. Still not a peep from you. No, I want to know why. Why you come in a negative way? I know, maybe, just a maybe, because I know how the unseen forces work. Maybe it's just people that are around me to try to find a spiritual opening to spiritually attack me when I'm in my lowest, when I'm going through something, because I know that's what's around us. I've seen a lot of changes around people around me where they could be used to come up against me in a negative way. Now, I don't, like I said, I have nothing against you. I just know that there's unseen forces that can do that. But I forgive you. Listen to what I'm saying right now. I forgive you. I have to forgive you. Just like I've forgiven everybody else before you that's come at me in a negative way. Right now, at this moment, I have to maintain my love foundation. So I'll forgive you, Barton Nunley, for coming in a negative way. I forgive you, man. I have nothing against you. I forgive Larry Fisher, because I really never had nothing against them. Brother Christopher Club, I forgive you also. I never had nothing against you. The only thing that is when you were instigated between me and Brother Josh Turner. I forgive you. I've forgiven you all a long time ago. I just don't know why y'all want to come at me in a negative way, because I don't want to dwell in the negativity. I have to maintain my love foundation. I have to stay positive. This is so you can understand that I have nothing against anybody. But if you respond to me in a certain way, I'll speak about it, because that's the right thing to do. And the right thing to do, also, if you come at somebody negative way and you really don't want no problems with them, you should apologize for your actions. I think there's a lot of people that apologies are due for a lot of people that have been targeted by individuals that they need an apology in order for to do the right thing. You have to apologize. But you know what? I forgive you. So it's up to you and the Heavenly Father, because I forgive you and I'll leave it at that. But I'm going through a lot right now. I decided to make this video here on my spiritual encrypted encounter just to let y'all know that when I start getting to feel better and things get better within my immediate circle, hopefully I'm going to continue to keep my mother-in-law in prayer for her to get better. It's been a struggle. It's been this month has been very, very heavy. A lot of things happening, not just to me, to my mother-in-law, but to people around me. When it's kind of like the Sons and Forces. If they can't get to you, they'll target everybody else around you, and that's exactly what has happened. A lot of people around me have been targeted, or they say things a certain way, and I have to maintain my love foundation in order for me to help them. I cannot help somebody if I get upset or get angry because it's a spiritual opening. I have to maintain my love foundation in order for me to help anybody spiritually. If I anger, right, or get upset because somebody disrespected me, then how am I going to be able to do my spiritual works if I don't forgive that individual? So tonight, I'm saying I forgive you. I forgive you, and I'm moving on now. You know, you take it as however you want to take it, but I forgive you. Even though I did not do anything wrong, I'm forgiving you for what you did to me. I'm forgiving you tonight here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. I'm here trying to work with people that want to work with me, trying to bring the light into a lot of the other things that people don't want to talk about. I know sometimes when people have podcasts, they want to stick to the narrative. They want to stick to aliens, Bigfoots, Dogman, fairies, leprechauns, whatever genre, right? They do the podcast. They want to stick to the narrative. And I'm sorry, I don't trying to interfere in anybody's works. More power to you in the works that you do. I'm just bringing the spiritual aspect out of what I've experienced, what I've witnessed, and what I know, in which nobody should be upset what I'm bringing to the table. I'm doing my works. I've never disrespected nobody's works. But the only thing is that I know how this disembodied demonic Nephilim demons, whatever you want to call them, what they're capable of doing, and if they can find a spiritual opening on somebody, they just won't attach themselves to them. What they'll cause sicknesses, they'll cause ailments because they're being bonded by them. When they got these ailments, if the person don't take authority over it and say, I type bind and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name, if there's something around me, I rebuke it through Jesus Christ and send them away, they're going to be there to get the mission done. And sometimes the mission that they try to do is death. They cause ailments. I'm talking from the spiritual aspect of things. I've seen what they can do since I was a kid. They can attach themselves to certain parts of your body to make you sick. I see what they can do. I know we've lost a lot of people within the cryptid community this past year, and there's still a lot of people that are ill right now. All I'm saying to y'all right now is this: tie, bind, and rebuke through Jesus Christ's name. Your spirit is a lot greater than anything that's created from the Watchers, anything that was created from the one-third that fell from the heaven. Your spirit is greater than that. Your spirit is greater than that. Because you have the opportunity to make it into the kingdom of heavens. So don't get deceived by these DDN demons that are pretending to be Bigfoots, Dogman, or whatever manifestation form they take. Don't get deceived by them. What's within you is a lot greater than all of that. Than anything that has to do with what manifestations they take, anything that has to do with anything that was shown to people, necromancy, witchcraft. What's within you and what the Heavenly Father can bless you with is a lot greater that what has already fallen from the heavens, from the one third that fell from the heavens. Just remember that what's within you, since we're children of the light, children of God, we have the opportunity to make it into the kingdom of heaven. So don't let anything that's unseen deceive you, or anybody trying to lure you a certain way to believe in certain things. It's within you to understand, to have that. It's within you to awaken spiritually and take your place with a heavenly Father, so He can bless you with the spiritual gifts of discernment, so you can see the spiritual reality of things around you. How you doing, brother David Jones? We got brother Just Turner, Morgan, Eve. But yes, I'm just making these videos. It's like this. Like I said, I have nothing against nobody. I've forgiven the people who come up against me in a negative way. It's beyond me now. Uh, but I'm going to continue to do this work. So I'm just trying to get better. I haven't been able to go out there and investigate because I've been sick for a whole month. I remember the day that I got sick. I went outside to take out the trash. When I came in, I wasn't the same no more. When I came in, I've been having problems breathing. It's kind of like start coughing real bad. I've been to the emergency room. They said there's nothing wrong with me, but I've been sick for a whole month. So how could that be? It's spiritual battles. You got to remember one thing. These unseen forces, they do attack our senses. They can attack through the ears, through the tear ducts, through your nose, through your mouth, and through your privates. That's how they target you. So what they're trying to do to me, I feel spiritually, even though there is a lot of allergies, is they're trying to block my senses. So I won't be able to use my senses to guide them, but I still maintain my love foundation, and I'm able to sense them through my love foundation. But anyways, I just want to say thank you all for those that did tune in tonight. Like I said before, you're hearing it from the horse's mouth, how people say it, right? I have nothing against anybody. I'm just doing my works here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, and I'm going to continue to do my works. And I know one thing, as the Heavenly Father is guiding me to do this spiritual works, there will be a lot more evidence that's going to surface up about the spiritual aspect of the DDN. And trust me, what I capture is no person in costumes. Of the videos that I see on YouTube or videos of people that post, you can literally tell it's a person in costume. I see a lot of that, and that don't need no debunk because you can tell it's a person in a baggy costume. What I capture is of spiritual of nature. It's going to look spiritual more than something that's a person in costume. And I see that there's a lot of that happening, which is hoaxing, right? Hoaxers or people that are misleading people. There's a lot of people that are hoaxing, misleading. I guess they're trying to keep the narrative of the Bigfoot or the being in the flesh. So what they're really doing is hurting the community by making this hoax videos. It's hurting them more than anything because you can literally tell that it's a person in costume. I think I seen one where one was walking and when he lifted his foot, you could see his tennis shoe underneath the costume. So we see a lot of that. What I do, I'll look at a video that somebody posted and I'll download it and I'll take a close look and you can literally tell it's a person in a mask. You can literally tell it's a costume and stuff like that. So I don't comment to it because there's certain groups that I'm affiliated with where they don't want nobody to say nothing negative, so I don't say nothing. It's like, but I can tell it's a person in costume. But it is what it is. So I'm almost here for an hour. There's something that I can tell you, brothers and sisters, is sometimes when things happen and it happens, it comes one right after the other, and it don't stop. It's like a roller coaster ride, and that's what has happened to me for about a month and a half now. It's been like one thing after another, after another, after another. But I'm staying spiritually strong. I just want to say thank you for those that tuned in tonight. I'm just keeping it. It was just a quick video I was doing here, spiritual encrypted encounters, just to see who showed up, who would show up. I just want to say thank you all. And look, I have nothing against anybody doing the works. I don't mind if I were to work with anybody that think it's a flesh being. I don't mind. I was in the military. I was out there fighting the enemy, right? So if I was in combat, if the enemy would be Bigfoots or Dogmen, and I was in the military fighting them, well, I'll be fighting against them, right? So in that sense of a way, I don't mind teaming up with anybody that believes that they're in the flesh. I'm trained to go into any kind of environment, right? Because I was in the front lines in the military. So I'm used to going into areas where it's hot, right? Where supposedly the enemy lies. So I don't mind working with somebody that believes they're flesh, right? They can take whatever weapons they'll take, but I'm gonna continue to do what I do spiritually of what I was shown, what I experienced. So I don't mind working with somebody that they believe in the flesh. I mean, I've seen what they can do. They have the abilities to break branches. They can run through branches where you hear branches breaking. They can manifest, and you can hear footsteps running to you. So I know what they're capable of. I'm just saying I don't mind working with somebody, right, that believes that they're flesh. And I have friends that believe they're flesh beings, right? And I don't mind working with people that believe in other things. That's the thing about when I was in the military. It's about staying united, not being divided, but staying divided no matter what beliefs somebody has. I knew people that were atheists that believe in other things, but there were still people, right? When I was in the military, and in order for us to overcome the trials and tribulations of the war, we had to stay united to be able to accomplish the task of surviving against the enemy we faced. So, in saying that, I don't mind working with anybody that believes they're in the flesh. I do not mind. Now, I've gotten invited to go to certain areas where they say that they're there and all this. I don't mind going to it. I don't mind going to areas or working with somebody that believe in the flesh. But I'm going to maintain my belief. Like I said, I have nothing against nobody that believe in the flesh. I remember when I was a kid, we had stopped at a rest area. We were coming from Arkansas. Where he had entered across the line. We stopped at a rest area entering Texas. And I think at the time I was like 8 years old. And we're at the rest area. When we're sleeping, there's scorpions running around the rest area. You can see the scorpions. We're on top of the picnic table. The scorpions are crawling on the bench. And we're trying to take a nap, but there's so many scorpions in the restroom. There were scorpions everywhere, and we're trying to get rest because we're tired, so we're in the station wagon and we're trying to go back in and out. And I said, okay, I found me an area where there's no scorpions. There was black scorpions, brown scorpions, all over this rest area. The rest area had like the little picnic tables. So, I was there. I found me a spot. And I said, okay, I'm gonna lay down right here for a little bit just to get the freshness of the concrete of the picnic table. So I'm on top, skinny. And next thing you know, this were the Bigfoot believers, right? I hear something making this loud noise, right? And I'm seeing pieces of wood, flying into our area of the picnic tables. They're coming over the barbed wire fence. They're getting thrown from inside the woods, and you could hear where trees are breaking, right? Trees are being broken because you could hear them. And there's this truck driver there, and he says, "It's him, it's him. Y'all need to get in the vehicle and leave now. It's him." And it's like my dad's like, "Who? What are you talking about?" And the truck driver says, "It's Bigfoot." He said, "It's Bigfoot. You need to leave the area now." And there's pieces of wood are getting chucked over the concertina wire. I'm not seeing nothing. I'm looking, but I'm not seeing no Bigfoot. But pieces of wood are getting chunked in our direction by something over the barbed wire fence. We got in the vehicle, and all the people that were in that rest area, they all start taking off. We left that area, and you could hear where something heavy is moving, and you can hear some kind of growl, right? To this day, I remember that experience, but I didn't visually see who was throwing that. But whatever it was, didn't like us or didn't like me because he was throwing it to my direction of where the picnic table. There was like 3 picnic tables. I was on the farthest right. It was the piece of wood wasn't getting chunked to where my parents were. They were getting chunked to where I was at. So I'm going to leave you with that. Was it something that was in the flesh throwing it, or was it something that manifested temporarily that didn't like little spiritual Abe and was throwing these pieces of wood because he could see the goodness that was within me? Like I said, I could not visually see anything. I could hear the movement. I could hear the growling. I could see the chunks of wood that were flying, but I did not see something physically at the time. That's no different than what I've captured in Elms Grove. I've seen the chunk in the wood. I've seen where a piece of wood got chunked into a friend's mobile home, and the big piece of wood went through his restroom wall. It got tossed from the wood line into his mobile home. I witnessed this. That day, I remember they said that they were walking the dog, and the dog ran back inside the house, and it was squealing like he was afraid of something. And when they went inside the home, that's when they heard the thump. And when they went outside to look what happened, they could see the chunk of wood in the mobile home. These people, they used to live by the swing set there in Elms Grove. He was in the military. His wife could not see well, so he had gotten deployed, and they say that if I could look out for him because she couldn't see at nighttime. So when she seen the piece of wood and she was going back inside her home, that something growled at her from inside the wood line, which they lived right there by the swing set area. Their mobile home was right there within that area of the swing sets. Got a phone call. Hey, there's something that's attacking us. Something chunked a piece of wood. It's inside. It went through the wall. So I went there with a flashlight. I'm trying to sense. She's all scared inside. The dog is scared, and I'm trying to sense. And this is even before I had my experience, right? So I got the flashlight on. I'm looking, and I'm walking near that area where the path is, and I could sense something there. But what I was sensing was something demonic, something unclean, because all my hairs were standing up. I could feel the presence of something looking at me, but it did not respond. And I said, identify yourself. Somebody here. Identify yourself. They wouldn't say nothing. But I've seen the damage of what people talk about. There was another neighbor. I live in the boat. There was a lot of events that happened there. There was another neighbor. You see, the mobile homes, they stand on metal frames, and then you got a mobile home on the top of it. And it's off the ground. So the mobile homes are pretty high off the ground, right? In which they have to build porches so you can get into the mobile home. She said that she was taking a bath and that she seen somebody peeping through a window, right? So they want to go to investigate. Her window that she said that something was peeping through was on the very top of the mobile home, which had to be at least, I would say, like 13 foot tall, 14 foot tall, possibly, because her western window was way on top of the mobile home, in which, it had to be something tall to be peeping from there, that tall. But that's what she witnessed. She called the cops to come investigate something that was peeping from way on top of the mobile home. The window was way on top, so that's like pretty high, for it to be peeping from on top. A lot of incidents that happened in Elms Grove, not just to me, but to other people that have resided there. Philippine lady that lived there for 22 years told me, there's something evil in those woods. Don't go there. Keep the children away from there. This is a story that she told me. I think she was longer than that. She had already been in that probably I would say 28 years, probably 30 years, because she was an old lady already. She lived there like a lot of years in there. She was saying that she was picking flowers from the woods. There's her story. So she was picking flowers in the woods, and that this giant snake came out of nowhere, wrapped itself around her, and it was looking at her, and he had red eyes. And she stopped. And I asked her, what happened? Did he say something to you? She looked at me and she said, there's something evil in those woods. Don't go there. She didn't want to say what it said to her or what happened after that. She just told me, she warned me to not go into those woods. If there was something there, to keep away from that area. I was new there. I didn't know if it was she was making up the story. I didn't know if, she was already old. But I knew after what I experienced there that she was saying the truth. There was other people that would tell me, hey, there's something out here. There was a guy that lived in the outskirts of the park. He lived in the mobile park, but at the very edge near the embark. His mobile home was right there. He always was working. He was always welding. He had a little shack and was always welding. And I would go walk outside the park. There's a big quad. I'll go walk around it at nighttime for exercise. At that time, I had a blood clot on my left leg. So I was trying to strengthen my leg. And the only way I could strengthen it is by walking, right? So I'll go walking and I would always stop there to talk to him. Hey, how you doing today? And all this. He would tell me, I said, hey, man, I see you walking out here all the time at nighttime. Don't go out there. So there's something out there. Just do not go out there at nighttime. There's something out there. He would tell me. He said, they always come to me up here. I said, what comes to you, man? He said, you see where I got the target out there by the edge of the woods? So yeah. So I have a bow and arrow, and that's where they stand. And it's like, what do you mean they? I say they stand. They stand there. I said, and I asked him, can you describe me of what they are? And this is what he said: werewolves. They stand there. They come in numbers and they stand right there. And then he said, sometimes I can hear them underneath the street where they're going through underneath the street through the tunnels into the sewers. I hear them at nighttime where they're going underneath, but they're there. And I was like, man, I seen them smoking marijuana one time, and I said, hey, just probably making this up. So I'd keep on walking, and I'll still go stop there and visit them. And then I remember one day where I'm walking down that trail, down that quad, and I hear something in the woods. It sounded kind of like it made like a dog sound, but then it sounded like a dragon sound of some sort. Of this, how should I say it? This ugly screech that's mixed up like a roar of sort, you know, and you could hear it echo through the woods in that area. And I stopped and I went back and I said, hey man, I think I heard something out there. And he said, I told you there's something out there. Do not go out there. So as the time went by, I kept on talking to him, and he kept on telling me, so they came here yesterday. Look at the arrows. They were all over the ground. So I shot at him, I shot him with a air bow and arrow, but it's like when I shoot at him, I'm shooting directly at him because he was like a hunter. But nothing's happening. My arrows are going right through him. He had some arrows, brothers and sisters, that the tips were made out of silver. And he said that it was going right through him. He had weapons that he would shoot a couple of times at him, and nothing would happen. He said, nothing happens though. It goes right through them. So everybody invited me to his house, to go inside his house, to show me something. He's like, I know you're probably thinking that I'm crazy. You're probably thinking that I'm full of crap, that I'm making all this up. So you're probably thinking, oh, he's just a person that likes getting high. So I want to show you something. He took me inside his home. This is what I witnessed. Let me get a drink of water real quick. What I witnessed was this. He had spiritual crosses in every window and doorway, hallway. And he had weapons in every window, in every entrance. He had weapons all throughout his house, where he would say that they will come and try to go inside his home. So he kept his house blessed. He kept salt on his doorways, because he was saying that what he was dealing with wasn't something in the flesh. What he was dealing with was something that was more of demonic of nature. When I started experiencing those things that I experienced, because he got up and left. He got tired of being attacked. He got up and left, moved from that area. Then things started happening to where I was at. And that's when I started experiencing the things, what the people would tell me what was around. In that area where he told me that they were there, I remember when I ran into one that to this day, all I know, it was huge. At first I thought it was a wildcat. And I said, man, that's too big to be a wildcat. And I said, well, maybe it's a bobcat. It didn't look like either. All I know, it was coming at me. It was backing me up. It was moving fast. It sounded like it was making this weird noise, and it had white eyes, and it kept on charging at me. And it backed me all against the embark. There's an embark there. And there was, I guess somebody was doing janitorial work where the front door light was on. The only thing I had was a little knife. So I didn't know I was dealing with something in the flesh or what, but I had the little knife out, and I said, "Man, if it claws me, no." At that time I was on blood thinners. I said, if that scratches me, I might be a goner here. So I'll call my friend. Hey, man, I'm being attacked by this animal. I'm right here, and he's like, oh, "Okay, I'll go, I'll go." It was right there outside the mobile home park, and I had the little knife. I didn't know it was going to try to come underneath the vehicle, around the vehicle. It was pitch dark. The only thing I had was a light behind me. I'm thinking that saved me from it attacking me because it never came underneath or around, but my friend showed up. I think there was like two of them but this one was on force. It wasn't walking bipedal, it was on force. So I just thank God. After that incident, uh, I kind of stopped walking in those areas. It's like I don't want to run into whatever I ran into because I didn't know what it was. All I know, it was pretty long, and when I'll take one step, it'll take three steps towards me. And it's like it felt like it was trying to sense me, but was afraid. So he were trying to run towards me real fast. But I stayed calm and relaxed, and I was just waiting. And my mindset, I had to get into the combat mode because I was gonna be fixing to be in a fight. And I had a little knife, and I said, "He's gonna for sure. He's gonna scratch me. It's gonna bite me, but I'm gonna try to take his eye out. Try to take out the eyes out. If I can take out one of the eyes out, I'll work on the other. No matter whatever happens to me, I'm going to try to take out its eyes with a knife that I had. Uh, but thank God that nothing happened. That's why for the people that do take weapons out there to investigate, that's a good thing, I guess, because you don't know what you're going to run into out there. So it's always good to be prepared in that way. Me, when I go search, it's during the day. At nighttime, I know the wild animals are out there. Maybe I do need to carry a weapon with me, but I try to do my spiritual works during the day because the ultraviolet rays of the sun breaks the cloak of this DDN. That's how I capture them. Uh, but that's a story that happened to me there in Elms Grove, and there's other stories of other people that live throughout the park. Like I said, I knew a lot of people there of things that were happening to them, and I could relate to what was happening to them because it was just in my section. It was happening all throughout the park. So whatever forces are there, I'm more than sure that they're still there. They're still in that area. Whether the land is a native Indian burial ground or whatever the case might be, there's definitely something there in that area. And not just there, but all throughout Central Texas. I believe it has to do with the limestone. Here in Central Texas, there's a lot of limestone where there's limestone and the sun, Texas is hot, it energizes the limestone. So when it energizes the limestone, there's things that manifest from that energy, that they suck up that energy from the limestone and they manifest. That's why there's a lot of people that see a lot of things by the lakes, by the creeks, because of the limestone. That's how they manifest. I know there's a couple of people here, and I will look at the comments and respond to the comments that were left here. But I'm just here, like I said, to say I forgive, forgive the people that came up against me in a negative way, and I'm going to continue to do this works. I don't want to keep y'all up too longer. I know my wife just got in from the hospital, so I'm going to go see if she wants to get something to eat. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless every single one of y'all. If I've offended anybody in any kind of way, I'm sorry. It was just out of me reacting to people coming at me in a negative way. Like I said, I forgive y'all. Everybody have a beautiful, blessed evening. Thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And once I get to those 1,000 subscribers, which is my main goal, then I'll be able to do things differently. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna finish this with a prayer. Heavenly Father, at this time I'd like to pray from a mother-in-law that's still in the hospital. If there's any negative forces there that are causing her to be sick, we tie, bind, and rebuke them in Jesus Christ's name. Send your heavenly angels to protect her. At the same time, send your heavenly angels to my household and to my foundation to heal me and protect me also from these unseen forces that are around. We tie, bind, and rebuke them in Jesus Christ's name. And I want you to send your heavenly angels to all my brothers and sisters and to the people, to everybody that I know, for there to be peace, for them to find their love foundation, for there to be peace amongst us, for there not to be, I know that's part of the unseen spiritual war, but for right now, for there to be peace, a love foundation, so we all can unite as one and continue to do the spiritual works that we do. I would like I said, pray for all the sick. Pray against any unseen forces, any kind of witchcraft or necromancy. We tie, bind, and rebuke all that in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Y'all have a beautiful evening. God bless every single one of y'all. Peace. So I'm trying to figure this out. Let me do it close up here. Okay, let me see how to shut it off real quick. I'm not used to doing lives here. Oops. Let me shut it off real quick. Okay, here it is.